Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Backpack Trader Training Room for Thursday, June 13th, 2024. Please note the required risk disclosure. This room is for educational and information purposes only. It is not to be considered individual financial advice. Trading of this type carries substantial risks and should only be attempted with funds you can afford to do without. All right. Jumping in. Crude oil, got it done. First trade. This was a get in sync. So about 5 minutes before, that hung around the entry and did give us an entry about 24 seconds after our start time on this bar right here. I did took a look at that on the 4-second chart. And we definitely should have. We had like hit the entry 3 times after 9 o'clock before going up. So we should have been able to get into that. So that would have been targets 1 and 2, 13 and 21, 34 ticks on the 9 a.m. session. And the YM just stopped out of a pre-market trade. 2 minutes to go before market open. Unleaded, unfortunately, getting in sync with a trade. Actually set up a little bit earlier. Short trade this time. That one goes for a full loss. So that is a risk of 54, down 108, and no additional trades since. So ready for market open. We have a get in sync on long on soybeans, flat on the YM, waiting for a new setup. Micro Russell has gone too far on that short. Already at money management. That's a no-go. We do have a 8:30 start time on the pound Aussie. We picked up a long trade from 92.01, and that just actually did hit. That's going to be 92.13 for money management. Let's see if we got there. Yeah, we hit it on the nose. So that is money management. Our first actionable target is going to be up here at target 2. 2 positions coming off there. Or you could take 11 ticks here less your 2s. That's going to put you about 9 after spread. Market is open. Soybeans goes too far, so therefore that's flat. Or we're still flat, and that trade is off the table. Looks like the DAG stopped out too, so there's a short on the YM. And pulling back, that's and long, so we're in the short, and the long is at 58. Let's put it there. And it looks like we survived in the short. Got as high as yeah, we came to 56, but the 58 stop and reverse keeps us in the short. Money management achieved. And target one. So that was 34 ticks to target one. That's a one and done session on the YM. There's our stop at 99 on the pound Aussie major key level. So we're leaving a couple of pips of risk on. If you didn't execute at target one. If you executed at target one, I'd go ahead and bring it up to 92.02. I didn't execute there, or wouldn't have. Short trade on the micro Russell. $10 seconds on the bar, so in that, and that's a full loss. This one's going to be, yeah, that's going to be too fast. It's 14-second bar, but I'm sure that bounced up and came down. Same with this long trade. That should be avoidable. And a new short. Triggering in. Bring that down the tick to 49.4. There's your money management, and that's a full, and the second loss. It's a full stop out. Noise on micro Russell. Short on the unleaded. Slow bar, so looks like that we're definitely in that. Looks like that may have just been a pullback. That's a reaction. And looks like we trailed out on the YM for just shy of target one, so it's around 60 ticks, so over 60 ticks on the YM this morning. And a stop and reverse to long, stop and reverse at 226. It looks like we're still we're still surviving. We got as high as 224. Still in the short. Please do say hello in the chat. Long trade on the micro Russell Looks like that went break even. No targets, and now we go back short again. 2 losses and break even. No loss will end the session. Up to 3 more trades. And it's not quite money management. There's money management. Yeah. Maybe 51.4. There's a short on soybeans. Target 3 is our objective on the micro Russell. Stop at 52.7. That is our break-even stop. And as I mentioned, we actually are in the short trade on unleaded. We avoided the stop and reverse by about 2 ticks. Let's take a look at what we got going on soybeans. I picked up this short. And it looks like it's taking a little bit of heat. And stop all the way up at 83.25. 2 ticks beyond the session high. Money management and target 1 on the unleaded short. We're in the trade to the left there. We did not stop and reverse. Stop and reverse adjustment to 226 kept us in the trade, in the short trade. Unleaded in this RB, bottom center chart. And it looks like we stopped out for a break even. Actually, a 2 pip loss on the pound Aussie, which is effectively a break even trade. And there's that. There is our 3rd loss on the micro Russell. Long trade triggering in and then going back the other way. That ends the session there. So I'm going to put, and we're done until 10 a.m. on crude. So I will put the unleaded chart up here over top of, let's put it over top of the YM. So we can take a look at, oh yeah. I would guess that's probably an avoidable short. We actually might be in the long as a get in sync, as our start time happened about a minute and a quarter, minute and 15 seconds before this bar closes. So I'll have to go back and look at that. we're either in one of the two longs, and we would have avoided the short with a stop and reverse adjustment if that were the case. If not, it looks like a no trade anyway. Unleaded, getting target 2. So we were down 108. Target 2 there is 69. So down 39. $146 for the stop. And our entry was 178. So we've got 32 ticks on the trailer at the moment. We need 7 more ticks on the trailer to get even. Call it about 12 ticks to get positive. Try to get 5 ticks positive before we do anything else with it. Another possible stop and reverse, or stop and reverse is a possibility, but now that micro NQ looks like it's trying to go back up again. I'm definitely not sure. And soybeans, target 1. So that will be a one and done session. This will be the power quitting trade. 7 ticks on target. We're now looking for target 2 with the stop at 79 3/4. Target 2 at 77 1/4. We got within 1 tick. If you trade for profit, that's a place to do it. Don't fight over 1 tick just to go back and stop out that last tick, risking 9 ticks to get that last tick. That's not a very good risk-reward ratio. Looks like we're going to go down to 136 on unleaded, and that definitely will get us positive. We did avoid the long stop and reverse with the stop and reverse adjustment. And there we are, actually down to 33. So 40 something ticks. And we're down 39. Let's see. 78 to 36, 42. So yeah, three ticks positive if we stopped out there. Three ticks will cover your cost, but that's going to be about it. That's definitely would be a break-even session effectively. By the trade plan, Yep, and we did just stop out. Oh, wait a minute. That we came. Yeah, I missed a stop. Yeah, 133, 123. So that is 13 ticks that we gained. $50. It's a positive result on the day. So I will. And it looks like we do have a stop in reverse. That's going to be make it 32 and a quarter. $632 and a quarter. Let's see. And we did trigger. So that actually is that's a marginal loss on the first trade. And almost it's a full loss. Yeah, we actually would have stopped. If you were in the second trade, you would have stopped and reversed at the full stop. Then there's a second loss. Just took the full stop out on this short trade. Which is a shame. Good morning, Bill. So the unleaded does get positive. We taken 2 losses on the micro NQ and 3 on the micro Russells. The micro Russell is finished. Unleaded back down here where it belongs. Pick up micro NQ again to see where we are. And we did stop out at the break-even stop on our soybeans trade. Still a one and done session, but you definitely would have been better off to have taken profit. Target 1 tick shy of target 2. So that would have been 7 and call it 9. Would have been 7 and 9 probably. 16 ticks plus 2 additional, 18 ticks net, 4.5 points. Long setup on the micro NQ. No trigger yet, so the stop will not cancel the trade. You need a crossover to do that. And target 2 at the session high. Just shy of 10 minutes to the crude 10 a.m. mini session. YM and soybeans are both complete, as is the micro Russell. 9 a.m. crude mini session was a winner. Not much activity though in the last 40 minutes or so on crude. Pound Aussie took a 2-tick loss, so we're down about 2 pip. We're down about 10 pips there. We got money management, but major key level left two pips of risk on. And it looks like we're about to get a short, which will cancel. If this bar closes down, looks like whether this bar closes down or not, we're going to get a crossover. That'll cancel the long trade. Down close will give us a short setup. $31 3/4 for the close. So 30 1/4 for the setup. Looks like where the setup is going to be. I might push that down a couple of ticks because of the swing low. In fact, I would push that down a couple of ticks. I'd say make that 29 3/4 if we set up. Yeah, and there's the setup, and 29 3/4 would have kept us out so far, I think. Try that again. Oh, I know that good. And we did trigger it in, even with the adjustment. So we are short on the micro NQ. With 2 losses already. And we've had a successful long trade and no overbought or oversold. Well, wait a minute. Yeah, no, okay, yeah, that was still before our last successful trade. No overbought or oversold readings, so only trades we'll see on Pound Aussie is off 50 EMA. Under 5 minutes to crude mini session. Micro NQ spanning almost a full trade there. Getting within, looks like just 2 or 3 ticks of the stop. And now just right kind of in the middle in no man's land. All right. We have a possibility to get in sync on crude. $69 for the S&P. $68.68 for the entry, $69 for the 20 SMA. But yeah, I would push that to 71. It's not a big trade, but yep, it's got time. A 3-tick adjustment. Maybe not as much as we might should. Now we'll see. That's a bigger adjustment than we normally would try to make. So that's going to push that to 81 for money management. Just 1 tick higher. That's our get in sync. And we ultimately did push down on the micro NQ, getting just a few ticks from the money management level at target 1, 13 3/4. And we got as low as 15 1/4. So 1.5. Now back up to the entry. And micro NQ testing the 50 EMA. Trying to make another push higher. Stop at 45 3/4. 645 3/4. All right, the potential long stopped out on crude. We're in our session now with a short at 78.44. And waiting for a possible trigger on that. One close above the balance line. And we did take the full stop out on the micro NQ. That ends the session. Not participating in this long one, so that 3 losses on the micro NQ. That may be just a little bit large, the the brick size may be a little large on that chart. I'm running a 12 point. I think 1.5 would probably be better than 12.3 right now. I will be right back. One moment, please. Apologies for that. It was a medical call for my wife that I needed to take. And the crude short did cancel. So our 10 a.m. crude session and pound Aussie, the only two active charts. Everything else is done. Let's see if we can't work through the. Good morning, Don. See if we can't work through the 10 a.m. crude mini session. Ooh, that would have been a fourth loss on the micro NQ if we had taken the long trade. Let's see, how close are we? That we're probably not going to be low as 46, and the EMA is at 51. No, that's too far away anyway. It's already 5 ticks. We're going to have add 2 more for the exhaustion dots, and our requirement for crude is 4 ticks. Still flat on crude. And crude just kind of going sideways now at 10 o'clock. Pound Aussie not doing anything either. Now's a good time for questions. Down to our last two charts. Possible short on crude. 78.44 again. It's a little bit smaller trade. Money management at 34. Looks like we got 11 and 19 for the targets. Crude slowly pulling back off an uptrend. Let's see if we can push down through the short. We'll have to get down through the 200 EMA to get the target, to get the money management or target. Just below the 50 seems to be providing a certain amount of support. And the 50 EMA is at 78.51, so the 50-cent level now pushing down a little, well, back to 49. Got down to 47, it looks like, and just came back down to 47 again. Nothing on the pound Aussie. Still stuck just below 78.50, but not pushing down to the entry at 78.44. They're both price action type bars, and their Renko is essentially a type of range bar, but it's not quite a workspace for what, Don? Obviously, I've got this workspace, but this is based on the on all of the strategies that I have. We've used the Renko quite a bit with Catapult, and now with Cloud Control. Okay, this one that I'm running in the room, I can probably put it together. Now the Spotlight, I think I'm running an old calculator on Spotlight. Which Spotlight calculator do you have? Or which Spotlight system do you have? All right, the short did trigger. Okay, you if you have SMS, I'll need to, because I'm running the old SL calculator, which was before Troy split from NetPicks. I just there's been no need to change. So I think I can put together a workspace with that. Let's see, one, two, three, yeah, four of the 7 charts that I've got up here are on Spotlight. So that we need to change half of these charts over to the SMS. These are all built with trade plans that should be on the owner sites. The YM is just the basic 14 tick range that we've been running basically since Spotlight came out. Counterpunch soybeans chart. That the soybeans trade plan is on the Counterpunch site. Pound Aussie is pretty much default for Forex. That's also Spotlight. And then the micro Russell, I'm using the evening V1 Renko evening V1 trade plan. That's on the Catapult E-mini site. Micro NQ, I'm running a 12.3 brick, but it's the trade plan is actually this is the 6.2. Oh, speaking of which, I didn't take a look. No, we're still not. Volume still hasn't gone to micro NQ yet. Yeah, 500K to 30. under 34K. We got up to 65K yesterday versus 1.2 million. Not there yet. Problem is for me to change 4 of the 7 charts, that's quite a bit of setup too. Because I don't have I'll have to transfer all the settings into those 4. And part 2, the other side of that, the downside of using somebody else's workspace, it takes time to learn what your settings are, and that's something that as you watch the charts, and our short trade just stopped out for a full loss on crude. So setting up the charts actually is part of the learning process. You learn what your settings are by setting the charts up, so you're more familiar with what you're looking at. That's one of the things that I have with this many charts, and as long as I've been running them, is I have to go back and look at what the settings are periodically. But yeah, that's setting up your own charts is actually definitely a big part of the learning curve. Learning the strategy and learning what you want to set for your trade plans, so it makes you better at executing them. And also starts to get you used to how the strategies work. Now the micro NQ starts to give us winning trades, and some winners and some losers on the micro Russell. So the crude is not ready to capitulate down yet, obviously. Let's see if we got about halfway from the 50 to the 200. Well, let's see if that sets up actually another up move. Maybe that was an extended reaction. We do have some more overbought readings. Shorts are likely setups right now. You don't have enough to get exhausting dots. You mean TradeStation 10? Yeah, TradeStation 10 looks, especially if you were used to 9.5, looks like it's a bit challenging to to learn. I have never really learned TradeStation myself, because I started with NinjaTrader because I was already an Interactive Brokers customer and I could tie it right in. So that was the major reason I started with NinjaTrader. And hey, let's face it, you're not going to start with 7 different charts. You want to focus on, 2 or 3 for fast testing, maybe 4, but go through some fast tests. But once you get to the point to start trading, you don't want but just one or maybe 2 charts on your workspace. The more charts you have in your workspace, the more power you need in the computer to calculate all of the calculators that you have running and so forth. Because of all the web pages I have open and so on and so forth, I really have to this and also streaming. It's very taxing on my system. Which is why occasionally my data will start to lag. That's an indication that you're trying to do more with the system than the system is capable of. Too bad we don't have a criteria for a set of exhaustion dots. That looks like a nice trade off of the 20 SMA. It actually might even be a trade off of the 50 EMA if we got exhaustion dots, which looking at that, I'm pretty sure we won't get exhaustion dots on this bar because we haven't got the pullback required. Need at least 2 down bars before it goes back up to get exhaustion dots. And all three market indices setting new session lows. Crude has only had the one trade since 10 o'clock, almost at 10:30. Going back to Bill's question about Renko versus momentum, um, there's not really a hard and fast rule on when to use one versus the other. Renko just has a different look than range bars, but they're both purely price based. Renko bars are not what kind of what you see. You actually get a look that's not necessarily where the price is on in some parts of the bar, because you have an offset that's actually above or below where the current price is for the open of the bar. Whereas you're seeing exactly where the price has gone with momentum bars. But they're both a range based bar type. And trade size is controlled to a great extent by the size of the range, or the size of the brick, or Renko. Speed of the chart on momentum bars is also somewhat a function of the size of the range. It just depends on the market. But the speed of the chart on Renko bars is determined by your open offset, or I'm sorry, not by, but your tick trend. How far the bar has to go to plot a new bar. And it takes significantly more movement in the opposite direction to show a reverse on the Renko bars. At least the custom Renko as we're using it. Because it takes the open offset plus the brick size in the opposite direction to get a bar printing in the opposite direction on Renko versus a range bar. You can get either one. Well, range bars actually show you exactly where the price has been. The Renko bars, because it's got it has a it's essentially cosmetic, but because of the open offset is not showing you a true representation of where the price actually was. It can make a visually more appealing chart. Now with the wicks showing, it will tell you when price pull back outside beyond that open offset. But that's where you have to kind of read the chart a little bit, because the trend may not be as strong as it appears on Renko bars. But Renko bars tend to just give you a cleaner looking chart. All right, looks like we may get another short trade set up on crude. Down bar here will be below the balance line, and that should be below the 50 EMA. Let's see. High of that bar is 59, so trade would set up at 49. Yeah, it went down to 51, but then ended up going up. So now the high of the bar is 60, still be a 49 for the setup. Yep, support at 50 EMA. Let's see, is there a... Yeah, that's a positive oversold, so we could get... Now we will not get a short trade. We may get a long trade going up, unless we're so close to the zero mark right now. That we're very likely will get. We've got an oversold now, but we're likely to get an overbought if we start going up. But if you look on the data window, the SLOS is positive. The blue just barely at 0.265. But that will keep that's keeping us from having a short setup there. Okay. And we've been at this a little over an hour, and just the one trade in the half out 35 36 minutes of the 10 a.m. session so far. We've only got 25 minutes to go. Price action definitely moving sideways at the moment. So I think I'm going to call it a week unless y'all have other questions. And we'll see you next week. Regulars. Let's see. Actually, I'll have to check on holiday stat because Juneteenth is a federal holiday. I think it's Wednesday. So I don't know what that'll do to the crude inventory report. I'll have to look that up. But I will look that up and put the schedule out. We'll certainly have the regular Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday 9:30 sessions. So everybody have a good one, and we will see you next week. Yeah, there you go. We got an overbought now, so no long trade. That's what I was afraid of. The trend. Look at the green trend is down at minus 20, almost minus 25. Very, very balanced market. All right. Everyone have a good afternoon. Good trading tomorrow and Monday if there is a session. And everyone have a good weekend. And we will see you next week.